There's a reason why narcissistic patterns often show up around empathetic people. And it's not because empathy is a weakness. Empathetic people tend to replay relationships in their minds, wondering what they could have done differently. They ask themselves if they were too kind, too patient, or too understanding. But the truth here is this: empathy isn't what causes the problem, it's what makes certain dynamics even possible. Narcissistic behavior is driven by a need for validation, reassurance, and emotional regulation from the outside. Empathetic people naturally provide those things without being asked. They listen deeply, they give you the benefit of the doubt, they even try to understand before reacting. And at first, that feels like connection. Empathy offers emotional safety, and for someone who struggles with insecurity beneath the surface, that safety can become stabilizing. The issue here is this: when empathy is not met with accountability, it slowly turns into emotional labor. The empath starts explaining more, adjusting more, and even carrying responsibility that doesn't belong to them. Not because they are weak, but because they are wired to repair and not to control. That imbalance is where narcissistic patterns take root. You might notice that you're always the one that's trying to keep the peace. You soften your words, you even second guess your feelings. Meanwhile, the other person rarely pauses to reflect on their impact. Your empathy then becomes the cushion that absorbs conflict while their behavior remains unchanged. In my opinion, that's not love or connection. That's emotional outsourcing. Here's the part that matters most. Empathy does not need to disappear. It only needs boundaries. Empathy without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. But empathy with self-awareness becomes strength. The moment you stop over-explaining, stop rescuing, and stop carrying emotional weight that's not yours, then the dynamic changes. Not because you become colder, but because you became clearer. If this resonates, you're not alone and you're not broken. Empathy is powerful when it's protected. Now, this is part 2 of a short series on narcissistic behavior and self-awareness. If this made something click for you, follow me at JD Unbound now.